This video is intended for people that are 13 years of age and older. You are now at One Stop Mouse and also on our sister channel named Disney for Adults, which is a new channel. Please do me a favor, if you are not subscribed to this channel, One Stop Mouse, or our sister channel, Disney for Adults, please do so right now. Subscribe to these channels. The easiest way to subscribe to Disney for Adults is to just scroll down to the link below in the channel description and hit the link for Disney for Adults and go right to that and do that. There's a need sort of for a backup system. There's this strange and uncomfortable situation going on with some rule changes with the FTC and with YouTube, and they're not really exactly sure where Disney YouTube channels fit in the scheme of things, and so that's that. We had a wonderful year in 2019. This is a wrap-up for the year of 2019, a year in review. We had a wonderful time, and big changes all around, from us personally to the parks to, what isn't happening? We hope you're having a wonderful 2019 holiday season. This is a few days before the new year. And we hope that you yourself have had a chance to come down here, see Rise of the Resistance at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, to go to the Christmas party, see Hollywood Studios decorated for Christmas at night, see the Ice Castle all lit up by Elsa in Magic Kingdom, see Animal Kingdom lit up inside the park for the holidays for the very first time. In 2019, we live streamed the opening of Galaxy's Edge back in August at 4 a.m. in the morning, and then the opening of that attraction's second ride, Rise of the Resistance, this past December 5th, again at 6 a.m. We enjoyed the Halloween party. I was not dressed like this, like I was the year before in 2018 when it was 100 degrees. I learned my lesson. And we enjoyed the Christmas party at Magic Kingdom and the great new fireworks that they had at both the Halloween party and the Christmas party. Most importantly, as local Florida pass holders now, the pressure is off. We went to the parks a lot, stayed for as long as we wanted, then came back home 30 minutes away. And it basically doesn't, if you're going to Disney for several days from out of state, it is, as you know, it's a marathon. It's an expedition to get every drop out of all of the things that you want to do done. But when you live so close and you're a pass holder, that pressure is gone, and it makes the experience so much better. It's so wonderful to be this close to the park. We moved here from out of state to just outside of the park in spring of 2019 with a small YouTube channel of another name, and then changed it to One Stop Mouse. Set up a studio in one of our little bedrooms in this house where I'm talking right now. Go to the park and vlog and live stream, and that's One Stop Mouse. Hopefully things will work out with all the YouTube changes and we're not gonna have to change our name again. That's why we got the backup system with Disney for Adults, but we'll see. And I intend to be posting more often. With changes in lifestyle and jobs and everything else, I have not posted as much as I wanted to, and I've missed some of our days. But generally, things have worked out very, very well for us personally here. Good jobs, was a great decision to do this. Like I said, I love being able to experience the parks like this. If you yourself are thinking about moving to Disney, i.e. moving to one of these towns on the perimeter of Disney, and the Orlando experience, check out one of the videos we have here on the channel. It's calling Moving to Disney, and you'll see the pros and cons of how I feel. So that might help you out a little bit. Biggest park news for 2019 was the opening of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, obviously. In true form, not a surprise, history repeated itself. And the massive shifts in public attitude and reception for the new attraction were so reminiscent to what naysayers said about Disneyland in 1955, and then again about Walt Disney World in 1971. Disney's folly, Disney doesn't know what they're talking about. They just threw money right out the window, on and on and on. And that happened, that happened all the way back in Anaheim in 1955, and the biggest smash hit ever. Same thing with Walt Disney World, keeps growing and growing. And Galaxy's Edge had the same kind of mixed reviews from many. And, in 1955 and 1971, they didn't have social media and internet trolls, so it gets even nastier. And the people who were saying what they said about the parks back then, those were just critics, newspaper critics, disgruntled. They weren't like, you're a critic right now, you can get on here and like or unlike this video. So it's a different world. And Disney had to put up with a lot of people laughing at them and saying that they spent a ton of money on Galaxy's Edge. I mean, it was like a soft opening. They opened the park with one of the two rides, the least spectacular of the two rides. A popcorn stand, a few quick service restaurants, this great inspired land and cast members, but the coup de grace, the crown for that attraction is the ride that just opened months after it initially opened. And with the success of Rise of the Resistance, people can see the vision now. People can see how incredible Rise of the Resistance is, and it circles around the whole thing and makes that whole experience worthwhile and wonderful now, and they couldn't see it before. I think the idea that they have at Epcot with the Epcot experience, showing people their vision, Imagineers showing the audience, the public, their vision of what they're trying to do is a really, really, really good idea. Also, with the whole Galaxy's Edge thing too, what fed into all of that was the park out in Anaheim at Disneyland. They basically most of their customers are local Southern Californians, and at Disney World it's international. So you can see all this in the video we did called Defending Galaxy's Edge. I was trying to tell people this, as it was happening. But, of course they weren't getting a lot of attendance at the Disneyland Galaxy's Edge at first, because most of those people are local pass holders, and the pass holders were blocked out. They couldn't actually go even if they wanted to for the first few months. So, people are like, where is everybody? I'm like, they're there, they just can't get in yet. And then once that blackout went over, then, the attendance picked up quite a bit. And then, of course, what would you do? Oh yeah, there are these two great rides at Galaxy's Edge, but one won't be open for a few more months, and that second one's supposed to be an even better ride. Oh, whatever, we'll just go and not... No, you would do the same thing I would do if I was coming from out of state. I'd go, well, I'll wait. I want the most bang for my buck, because it's not cheap to go to the parks. I'll wait till the second ride opens, and a lot of people did that too. So it's a crush now. The day that we went, they opened it at 6 o'clock in the morning, Rise of the Resistance on opening day. They have a virtual queue, not even a physical line, a virtual line on your phone, on your My Disney Experience app. And basically the whole day, all of the boarding parties to be able to get on that ride are full. The entire day is shot in like 2 hours. I think it was 2 hours and 45 minutes. So Disney looks like a genius now. Other Star Wars stuff includes new footage and tie-ins to Galaxy's Edge at Hollywood Studios Star Tours ride. And the building of a Star Wars hotel nearby Hollywood Studios that won't open until 2021. That sounds really, really cool. It's called Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser, and even though you're in a building, it's simulated, and they have these escape pods and all this other stuff. It basically puts you in this totally immersive 2-day Star Wars experience on this luxury star cruiser called the Halcyon. And that looks very, very interesting. So what else happened? The Skyliner opened up. That had a few glitches. It had a little bit of a crash there after it had been open for a week. They're very, very fun to look at. I haven't actually still been on one, but I see them going over my head every day on this one road that I take. And they look really cool, and they are helping with the traffic pattern and getting people across different areas of the park that they didn't have specific transportation to and from. Also, the buses at Walt Disney World now all have big murals, animated pictures, the entire size of the bus from Moana or Sleeping Beauty or The Force Awakens or whatever, and that's made it a colorful experience. Not just the buses, actually. I've seen it on a lot of the vans and the service vehicles too. So it's gotten very, very colorful around there. Epcot construction and changes. Whoa. So many Epcot changes and updates that they literally have a 360-degree with a highlighted model in the middle of it experience called the Epcot Experience, which you can see on our video here, the Epcot Experience, or if you're at the park, go to it. And a lot is happening, a lot is yet to come. It was all announced at this year's D23 conference in Southern California. To see the vision of that, like I said, go to that Epcot Experience or our video. Illuminations, Reflections of Earth, the beloved fireworks finale show at World Showcase at Epcot. After 20 years, it was initially going to just be a millennial show, and then it kept going because it was so successful, so popular. After 20 years, they finally retired it at the end of this summer, 2019, and now they have another show called Epcot Forever, a fireworks show that also involves some other technology involving these cool kites, believe it or not. And this interim show is going to go for 2 years before another big spectacular show comes in to replace it. Of course, this show is nowhere near as good of an ending nighttime show as Illuminations, Reflections of Earth. The construction on the Ratatouille attraction is still ongoing behind the France Pavilion of World Showcase. The Skyliner is up and going, so all that construction with the Skyliner and that Skyliner station at that international gateway over near the Ratatouille area, that's all cleaned up now. Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind over at Epcot finally enclosed, this huge indoor roller coaster experience, and this monolith of a building was painted sky blue, and it is gigantic, just like this hangar going into the sky. Everybody's so curious about dates and everything else on that. I have nothing else to tell you. As you walk into Epcot, you're rerouted around the central area of Epcot where the fountain and Club Cool used to be by a big wall. They're demolishing the fountain as well as the buildings on your right as you enter. So Club Cool, Starbucks, all of that is going to be gone, and you're rerouted around to the left to get to World Showcase and to the areas to the land over to there, and Mission Space on that other side. The big thing is Epcot is being divided into 3 neighborhoods. Epcot Celebration, Epcot Nature, and Epcot Discovery. As you walk into Epcot, there's going to be a much smaller version of the fountain and a statue of Walt right underneath Spaceship Earth, and that's going to be called Dreamer's Point. The interior of Spaceship Earth is actually going to be renovated. The beginning of the original story in there from Ray Bradbury, from the beginning up until the Industrial Revolution, where the kid is screaming extra, extra, Civil War is over. From that point on to the end is going to be changed. Dame Judi Dench, who is the narrator that everybody knows, Thank the Phoenicians. She's no longer going to be the narrator. They're going to have another narrator in there who's going to take you on your journey through Spaceship Earth. There's going to be sort of a spirit guide orb that brings you through that. But at least the beginning of that will just be refreshed, and the end of that story will be different. So no more Steve Jobs in his garage, no more Industrial Revolution, no more people in the computer room or people watching the space landing on the moon. But you'll still have the Phoenicians without the narrations. Maybe, who knows, maybe somebody else will say thank the Phoenicians. I don't know. That main area that's being all buildings demolished and the fountain coming out that they are clearing out, that's going to be Epcot Celebration, an area for festivals and such. Off to the left, that neighborhood of the 3 neighborhoods, that's going to be Epcot Nature, where they're going to feature a Moana-themed hiking trail amongst waterfalls and other water features. And then to the other side is Epcot Discovery, where they're going to have a big meet and greet and sort of a play area with a lot of technology, interactive technology. Yet to come, Mary Poppins is going to have her own area, just like Ratatouille is getting that thing over in France. In back of the UK pavilion, they're going to build a whole Cherry Tree Lane neighborhood, like in the Mary Poppins movies, and a ride that we don't really know that much about. There's going to be elevated gardens and a conference center somewhere as you come into Epcot. A space-themed restaurant is being built at Epcot between Mission Space and Test Track, called Space 220. The last opening date announced was February 2020. Magic Kingdom at Walt Disney World has the Tron construction going on. That's another big indoor roller coaster. Best view you can get from there is either from the Tomorrowland Raceway around the back curves, or as you're using the People Mover, and they're moving further and further ahead every day. If you haven't already checked out what that attraction looks like at the, I think it's the Shanghai Disneyland, do that. It's going to be a cool thing. The Tomorrowland Arch is a new arch now. Like I told you, there's new fireworks for the parties, and there's a weird rumor that's been floating around that comes and goes that there's going to be a retheming of the Country Bear Jamboree to involve Woody and Jessie from Toy Story in it. Animal Kingdom started having Christmas decorations inside the park for the first time ever in 2019. Hollywood Studios, besides all the stuff going over there with Galaxy's Edge, they will be opening up a much-awaited attraction called Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railroad, the very first Mickey Mouse-themed ride ever. None in Disneyland, not in Disney World ever before, none in any park, which is curious considering he's the mascot of the whole kingdom. And that'll be coming out in March of 2021. Actually, no, that's wrong. March of 2020. That's going to be coming up in just a few months. The Disney company as a whole seems to be doing really well. Disney Plus just came out, their streaming service. You've got a library to all kinds of stuff, being that Disney owns Marvel and Lucasfilm and 20th Century Fox and all this other stuff. But their original series that have been started off with his Star Wars series, The Mandalorian, shows a lot of promise. That is the coolest thing ever. I mean, I like that thing. Besides A New Hope, the very first Star Wars film, I really like this show, The Mandalorian. You got to check this out. The Rise of Skywalker came out, the last supposed film of the Skywalker saga. Star Wars film just came out about a week ago. Went and saw the premiere of that over at Disney Springs. Love that film. Give it a 9 out of 10. No one can say J.J. Abrams, Lucasfilm people, Disney did not try to throw everything into that movie that they could to wrap it all up nicely and to give people a sense of nostalgia, everything, to make them try to feel what they felt for earlier films. They used pieces of music from the original trilogy, reintroduced old characters, did all kinds of things. I think they did a magnificent job. I liked it very, very much. Congratulations on that. This past April, the Avengers Endgame film came out and finally wrapped up that whole series of Thanos films. That was a great film too. Frozen 2, I hear, is a really good movie that's been making a gazillion dollars. I have yet to see that. Most of all, thank you. Thank you, YouTube community, you other Disney YouTubers that I've gotten to meet this year, and cast members that I've gotten to meet this year. Thank you for being so supportive of our little channel, One Stop Mouse, and our new little sister channel, Disney for Adults, in 2019. We hope you had a good holiday season, and we wish you a very, very happy new year in 2020. Please do me a favor. Please subscribe to One Stop Mouse and to our sister channel. The link is down below, to Disney for Adults, and we'll see you real soon.